Okay, so Africa's largest producers of gold by African fact zone. So it says number one is Ghana, having around 113 tons. Number two is South Africa, having 110 tons. Number three is Sudan, 64 tons. Number four is Tanzania, 60 tons. Number five is Mali, 51 tons. Number six, Burkina Faso, 47.7 tons. And then at number seven is Zimbabwe, 36.48 tons. Hi, people, this is African Time. The name is Vadashi. Well, we are actually going to discuss Africa and African news. And today we are going to discuss about Africa's largest producers of gold. And you have already found out that through the list I've just read by the African Thousand people saying that your top seven most gold producers were Ghana, number one, South Africa, number two, Sudan, number three, Tanzania, number four, Mali, number five, number six is Burkina Faso, and then number seven, we have Zimbabwe. Good. And then there are various tons that they actually produce in the quantity that they have been doing. Okay, so we are Learning Africa and some interesting facts and figures and concerning the African continent and some beautiful news concerning the African continent too. Well, this was Chef and Random has something to say. Well, this one says, we don't need gold to be the giants of Africa. This list is for our younger brothers. That is why you can't find Nigeria on that list. Well, a Ghanaian came and says, Nigeria calling Ghana their younger brother. If you are fat, doesn't mean you are old. Okay, so this is some. If you are to divide or to calculate the kind of conversation how that the post was having on X, well, we could have a three. Let's say out of five. Okay, you have a three of Nigeria, SA, Nigeria, Ghana bands, and then only two having some normal takes and then concerning the main topic that was actually shared though. That was how it is. But I would say it's a band though. It's something that is, but it was fun and it was fascinating. Well, yeah. But how to let you guys know how it was at the comment section. Right? Now, good. Now let's actually make this thing more interesting. Okay, now we have known Africa's largest producers of gold in the continent, okay, in 2024. Now, if you are producing enough gold, where are the golds going and how are you preserving these golds? Okay, now let's see Africa's top countries with the largest gold reserves. That can actually let us know where these golds are going, if indeed they are staying in the African continent and improving our economy and then backing up our various currencies and economy too. Let's see what's happening here. So by the African narrative, they says Africa top 10 gold producing versus gold reserves. So we are on Africa's top 10 gold reserves in tons. So number one country in Africa that have the largest gold reserve is Algeria with 173.56 tons. Number two is Libya with 146.65 tons. Number three is Egypt with 126.82 tons. Number four is South Africa having 125.44 tons. At number five, we have Morocco with 22.12 tons. At number six, we have Nigeria with 21.37 tons. At number seven, we have Mauritius with 12.42 tons. At number eight, we have Ghana with 8.74 tons. At number nine, we have Tunisia with 6.84 tons. And at number 10, we have Mozambique with 3.94 tons. So there you have it. These countries or these 10 listed countries are said to be your top 10 gold reserves in Africa and then in tons. Now you see this. The largest gold producer in Africa was Ghana, exporting or producing around 113 tons, and they have only a reserve of 88.74 tons. So that means Ghana exported around 105 tons and only left around 8 tons in their reserves. Who does this and why? Why? How much does Ghana even sell this thing from? How much did it actually help the country, the economy for? Because how are you exporting more and having less reserve? Who does this? What kind of calculation is that? Well, when this was shared, something fascinating also happened the same day. Well, see this. It says Burkina Faso gold refinery has started after nationalizing the majority of the country's mines. Our land, our minerals, we own it. President Ibrahim Traoré. Okay, so we all know recently when President Ibrahim Traoré took in office and then became a military coup leader, or should I say a military leader to the Burkina Faso country, he initiated that in his time he will make sure that the country legalize all their goods in the countries, and then he will be the mind to manufacture and then mine their goods in the country. Well, he actually lived to his promise and made that possible, and some Ghanaians share their thoughtful thoughts or their awful experience with their leaders. Well, Ghanaian came and says, what he says, or she says, Ghana is the second largest producer of gold in the world, and it does not own any national gold mines, not one. A 36-year-old military leader is achieving all of this in 3-4 years. This man was only 4 years old when NDPP and NDC started ruling Ghana. Let that sink in. Well, that is a Ghanaian though. She actually is saying that how come a 36-year-old guy who just achieved power, and just in 4 or 3 years he have done this, by a country of Ghana getting independence around 60 years old, is still yet, and I say yet, to have its own national mines. We're having being a top gold export and a top gold producer in the world. How is that possible? Well, suddenly, or frankly speaking, it wasn't only her that was actually taking this claim. Also, the second top largest gold producer in Africa too, South Africa, also shared this. A South African also came and says, he says, what stops South Africa from doing this is their weakness and trying so hard to appease US and other European countries. Well, not only Ghana that actually crying for this, also the second largest gold producer, South Africa, was also, the people are also crying the same thing. That means what are the Burkina Faso doing right that these leaders are not doing right? Okay, so these were some concerning some people and their feelings, or how they felt about this news and how things are actually moving on in Africa concerning the African gold market and Africa gold export and Africa gold production. My name is Vidashi, and I hope you have learned something beautiful here today. I've also known what is happening in other countries in Africa, and also you can share your points and view at the comment section, and I'll be so glad to let's talk and discuss this with you guys. Okay, the name is Vidashi. Thank you for your time.